Hey everybody, this is John. Welcome to the free video. Let's dive in. I want to take a look at put-call ratios on key stocks. So, of course, next week we have the Fed announcement in terms of are they going to raise interest rates or not. And what's interesting is right now the markets are essentially getting positioned in front of that. And what I want to look at is some of these huge moves that we've had, and then what the options market is telling us. Okay, the options market right now is not telling us too much about Goldman Sachs, except it's in a neutral state, and this will make more sense in a second here. If we come over here and we look at the S&Ps, you'll see that this is the most bearish the put-call ratio has been in a while. Now, this is not, to clarify, when you say it's like, oh my God, it looks so bearish, the last time it looked bearish was right here, and this was back in July. And what happens is that essentially it means everybody's loading the boat on calls, and if everybody's long, it's hard to continue going higher, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind, is that it doesn't necessarily mean it's like, oh gosh, this can't go up anymore. I mean, it doesn't mean like, oh, this is going to tank. It just means like, wow, the odds of it going really much higher from where it is right now is starting to get pretty slim, okay? Just because it's more of a, when everybody's long and no one else is left to buy, what do you do? And then, of course, the opposite is also true when everybody's panicking and everybody's short, which is evidenced by this. It's like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. That's typically when you get the best rallies. Now, in terms of the markets, they're going to be impacted the most next week. Bonds. You can see here that we've had a lot of falling, obviously a lot of selling in bonds, down another 1.2% today. And we don't have any extreme bearish readings, okay? So when you get an extreme bearish reading, boom. Extreme bearish reading, boom. We are going down and actually do not have an extreme bearish reading that is very bearish for bonds. So one question that's come up is like, well, what happens? So if they raise rates, are bonds going to collapse? Okay, well, first of all, the markets are very efficient. Okay, if you've ever heard the idea of, buy the rumor, sell the news, is that what I'm looking at is if the Fed comes out and says rates are being raised, which right now is the high probability event. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. I think at that point, bonds could actually get a relief rally. Okay, the move down, the move to the downside is already being priced in. So I think the best strategy for a lot of these asset classes going into next week, and we'll be doing this in the trading room, is actually setting up and buying straddles. The other big potential mover is going to be gold, and the same argument that I just gave for TLT would also apply to gold. And then, of course, from there, the dollar index, which is in the options market, is easiest to play with FXE, which is the ETF for the euro. And obviously, for those of you that don't know, if the dollar goes higher, the euro goes lower. So here again, oh my gosh, we were raising interest rates, and if it's already priced in, I think the euro will have either a huge move higher or just collapse. Either way, I don't think it's going to be a quiet move, which we can take advantage of with buying straddles. All right, so it's going to be a lot of fun next week. For those of you that are in the trading room, we'll be setting up these trades all week long. All right, and I just want to remind you guys about these two classes that are coming up. Now, I know that you're not supposed to talk about two classes at the same time because then it gets confusing, but it is what it is. So the first class is going to be Carolyn's class, which is coming up this Saturday, okay? And it's going to be, as a reminder, it is this Saturday, December 10th from 12 to 4 Central. If you can't make it live, or if you're seeing this and the class is already done, you can still sign up and get the replay. And then she's going to have live trading on December 12th and 13th. Okay, and if you just scroll down this page, you'll see the two packages. They're very reasonable, small investment of both time and money that can get you up to speed on the strategies that we use to scale in and day trade, and it's all about the levels and how to set them up, and it's going to be fantastic. The other one is Chris's class. And what Chris is going to talk about is my favorite setup that he uses is called the ledge trade. In fact, this is something that I really didn't know about or think about until he showed me how to do it. And it's like the mighty short signal that nobody knows about. Okay, and you can see the links for both of these sites are up here. There'll be links in the email as well. He's been doing this for 34 years, and this is a trade that he's loved. He calls this one the Brecher ledge. He's never seen anyone else talk about it. I mean, I'd been trading a long time when he showed it to me. I'd never heard of it, and I love it. So here's what he's going to be doing. And if you go on the page, if you want to learn more about the class, you can. I won't read off all the bullets to you, but I mean, if you're like, okay, wait, I don't understand. Read the bullets. It's a no-brainer. The strategy class on this is only $147, and this is going to be Wednesday, December 14th, from 6 to 8 Central Time. Okay, but then Chris is going to do a strategy plus a live trading class, and it's going to have indicators and scans included in this. Okay, that's huge. So that's $297. It includes this. And then one thing to keep in mind is that at this point we only have these available for Thinkorswim. Okay, we may get them for other platforms, but just so you know, for the indicators and scans and things like that too. But from there, there's also additional tools that we'll have. We'll show you the setup, and of course, it's the idea of seeing something like this live versus in hindsight or versus on a PowerPoint is just it's just that much more powerful. All right. So again, there's the links. They'll be on the page. If you're going to ask me which one do you take, that's a tough one. I'm going to be watching both of them and taking notes. The moment you think that you've learned it all in the markets is the moment the market starts to take away your money. So I always say invest in yourself. All right, looking forward to it. These guys combined, they have just these two combined have 60 years of experience. It's going to be awesome. All right, you guys have a good one. See you in the trading room.